Hello, students. So, today we will start with a new poem which is written by William Shakespeare, All the World's a Stage. Now, this poem is an excerpt, meaning a part of Shakespeare's play As You Like It. It is a part of that play, and to talk about William Shakespeare, he is a very popular English poet, actor, as well as a playwright, and some of his famous works, as you must all know, are Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Julius Caesar, etc. Okay, so let's start with the poem. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. So Shakespeare says that all the world's a stage. He is comparing world to stage, a stage where you can see plays and dramas, and he is referring to men and women as the players of the stage. That is, they are the actors of the stage on the drama. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. So everybody in a play has entries and exits. Similarly, in the world, we people, men and women, also have exits and entries. Entries meaning our birth, and exit meaning our death. And between that period, between the period of birth to death, we play many parts, meaning we play many roles. And he is referring to these roles as follows. His acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. So he refers that in a person's life, they have 7 acts, and which are referred to 7 different age groups, ages. And so he begins with infancy. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. So at the very first stage after birth, our very first act is of mewling. Mewling meaning crying, and puking. Puking is vomiting in the nurse's arms after we are born. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel. Whining meaning complaining and crying. As we all know how small children start complaining and crying because they don't want to go to school. So he says that after the first stage of infancy comes the stage of a schoolboy, childhood stage, where the boy is whining, complaining with his satchel meaning bag. Complaining with his bag that he doesn't want to go to school. And shining morning face. Shining morning face means young face, bright face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. So because the boy doesn't want to, boy or girl, they don't want to go to school, they're creeping like snail. Here is making a comparison of the young boy or girl to snail. You know how snails creep slowly. So he is saying that unwillingly meaning not wanting to go to school. And after that, the next stage that comes is, and then the lover. So basically he's talking about teenage years, where the people are deeply in love with their partners. So sighing like furnace. Sighing meaning taking deep breath like furnace. So furnace is you can see this picture for here on the right side is a picture of a furnace. Furnace means bhatti, where we can melt metals as well as gold, metal like gold and other thing, glass, etc. So if you see a furnace, you will realize that there are these sounds coming from these furnaces, and that is what is comparing the lover to with a woeful ballet. Woeful ballet is a sad song or a poem which he has written for the mistress, dedicating it to the mistress. Mistress meaning their partner. And in the woeful ballet, they are describing their partner's delicate features like eyebrows, nose, etc. made to his mistress's eyebrow. And after this stage comes the stage when he becomes a soldier. where he wants to do something for his country, that is the youthful stage. And during this stage, what is his act is he is full of strange oaths meaning promises, because as he is a soldier he makes promises about for his country, strange oaths, and bearded like the pard. So you're comparing the beard of the man to the pard meaning leopard. Jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel. Jealous in honor, by this they mean honor meaning their pride. So they're very jealous about their pride, as in किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया तो ego hurt हुआ. So they're very sensitive about that, and they're jealous in honor. Sudden and quick in quarrel meaning to fight, and he is very short tempered during this period, and he is very quick to get into fights and arguments. Seeking the bubble reputation. Seeking means to look for. He is looking for a bubble reputation. Here they've referred to it as bubble reputation. As you know, bubble is so delicate. It is very temporary. Once you poke it, it's going to burst. So they bubble, and they're referring to the man's reputation as bubble, because they're saying that reputation that he is seeking is temporary, even in the cannon's mouth. So they're referring to the previous sentence where they say that sudden and quick in quarrel. So and even in cannon's mouth, cannon, you can see this is a cannon and this is the mouth of the cannon. So if somebody stands in front of that cannon, obviously that person is going to blow when the cannon is fired. Basically the person is going to die. So during this stage, when he is a soldier, man does not even care about his life when he is seeking for his reputation, and he is trying to fight for his honor and his pride. Okay, so moving on, the next stage is, and then the justice. This is the stage of justice. In fair round belly with good capon lined. Capon is a roasted chicken which was usually used to bribe people during that time. So in fair round belly means the person's belly is now round, which is round, filled with capon, roasted chicken, that is good food, and with eyes severe and beard of formal cut. His eyes are severe, they are tough, and the beard of formal cut, which is a very formal kind of beard, full of wise saws meaning advice, and modern instances, and so he plays his part. So during this period when he is represented as justice, he is full of wise saws, wise advices to give people, and modern instances and events that he has experienced during his lifetime. And here he plays that part of his life where he gives advice to people. Now the sixth stage shifts into lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. Here they're saying that as the person shifts into the sixth stage, he becomes lean, his body becomes thin and frail, that is weak, and slippered pantaloon, that is he sits in his house wearing pantaloons and slippers. Pantaloon is, and they're referring to pantaloon as an old man with spectacles on nose, wearing spectacles, and pouch on side meaning belly fats जो होता है, that is what they are referring to as pouch on sides. His youthful hose well saved a world too wide. Youthful hose meaning leggings, a tight pair of pants. So he has worn these leggings and he has saved them, and he has experienced a world too wide. He has experienced the wild world wearing those leggings. But now for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice. Okay, so his leggings have shrunken. They're now, so his leggings are now too loose for him. Shank is ankle. They are too loose around his ankle because he has become lean. And now his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble. Small treble meaning small and weak. And now as he comes into the sixth stage, his voice has also changed and he is becoming like a child. As the child's voice is small and weak, his voice is also turning to turning small and weak. Pipes and whistles in his sound. Pipes and whistles, by this they mean that now the person is coughing. There is coughing sound while he is speaking. And then he says that the last scene of all, that is the last stage that ends the strange eventful history. Now the last stage is that it ends the strange eventful history, that is the history is the lifetime of that person. Is now this stage is the second childishness and mere oblivion. Second childishness meaning that he is now, so as we say that old age is the second childhood, because during this time the old people, they start acting like kids and you have to treat them like kids very carefully, very sensitively. So in second childishness and mere oblivion means lack of awareness. That is, during this stage the person is not aware of anything around or anything in his surrounding. Sans, and in this stage he is sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Sans means without. It is a French word which means without. So during this stage the person is without teeth, without eyes, without any kind of, by this without eyes they don't necessarily mean that the person is blind, but they mean that their strength to look has weakened, their eyes have weakened and it might be difficult for them to see. So without taste, because during this time when they're eating, they have to consume a lot of medicines, the tastes change, so they do not have taste. Sans everything, without everything. That is, this is the period, this is the exit of the person from the stage, that is the world, and the person dies. So Shakespeare has described the lifetime of a person very beautifully and putting it into 7 different stages. And he has used the method of poetry, and he has used his thoughts creatively to put forth something that is life in an interesting way. Okay. So moving on, we will look at the figures of speech as we always do after the poem. So the first figure of speech is a descriptive simile, and as you must all be aware of simile is a description that uses like or as to make comparison. Simile is a comparison between two things, and it is a direct comparison where you say that this person is like this or this is as this. So for an example from the poem is creeping like snail. So here the small school boy is compared to a snail who creeps. Okay, so they've used the word like, so it is a simile. And you must notice that the whole poem is written in metaphor. The beginning of the poem itself is a metaphor where he is referring to the lifespan of a person to a stage, that is a play. So the poem is written in metaphor. Then metaphor describes an object or action in a way that isn't literally true but helps explain an idea or make comparison. So metaphor is also a comparison, but here in metaphor we do not use the words like or as. We make indirect comparison, which is the example is all the world's a stage. Here we are comparing, we are not saying that world is like a stage, we are just saying all the world's a stage. We nowhere use like or as to compare over here in metaphor. Okay, so this is the difference between simile and metaphor. Wherever there is like or as, it is a simile, and when there isn't, it's a metaphor. Okay, moving on, the next one is alliteration. the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. Okay, so when you have repetition of sound, that is known as alliteration. So an example would be quick in quarrel. So here the letter Q, consonant Q, is used repeatedly and it is used close to each other. Okay, so that is an example of alliteration, that is similar sounds close to each other. Then the next one is onomatopoeia. It is, what is onomatopoeia? It is the naming of a thing or action by a vocal imitation of the sound associated with it. So here we use the various kinds of sounds to explain the feeling or the sense of the statement of the line. So an example would be, then the whining schoolboy with his satchel. So here the onomatopoeia is whining. Whining is a sound that we make. Okay, so when the child is crying and complaining, the kinds of sound that he makes is known as whining. So we have not described that, but we have used the word whining. So for another examples for this would be when in sentences sometimes we use shh, buzz and things like that. So these are examples of onomatopoeia where we use sounds to describe the situation. Okay, then the next one is inversion, a situation in which something is changed so that it is the opposite of what it was before. So basically when you're writing a statement, you write the first thing that comes first and what comes next is after that. But in inversion, you write the second word first and the first one and the second. So an example is that they have their exits and their entrances. So generally we enter some place and then we exit. Okay, so actually it should be as entrances and exits, but Shakespeare has written it as exits and entrances. So that is inversion. And then the last one is transferred epithet, which is when an adjective usually used to describe one thing is transferred to another. Okay, so epithet is the quality, okay, quality given to somebody. So when that quality is transferred to something else, it is known as transferred epithet. The quality, and generally qualities are adjectives. Adjective is something that describes, gives you more information about the noun. Okay, so epithet is that, and when it is given to somebody else, it becomes transferred epithet. So for example, strange eventful history. Here strange is an adjective and we have given this adjective to history. Okay, so now for your homework, you have to solve the English workshop as usual. So the first one is read the words in given clouds, match them with what they signify. So here stage, they've given you an example. Stage is compared to life. So now so the second one is characters, and an answer to give you an example, the answer would be roles played by human beings. Okay, so that is what it is compared to in the poem. So that is what you have to match it to. Then the second one is read the poem carefully and complete the following table. So they've given you the 7 ages of man. You have to write down what is the role and the qualities and actions during that period. So for example, the first age of man is infancy, and during that time the role is just puking and mewling, crying, and you have to write what are the qualities and actions. Actions are the actions of mewling and puking. So similarly, you have to fill in for all the 7 stages. Okay, then write down in your own words the differences between the following stages. So you have to give difference between the second stage and the fourth stage. What is the difference between these 2 stages? Then third and fifth stage, then first and the last stage. Okay, then the fourth one is pick out lines that contain imagery, a picture created in the mind by using of the following people. So you have to write that what is the picture that the poet has created. So for example, schoolboy, what is the picture that is created? It is that the boy is complaining, whining, he doesn't want to go to school, then that is, and he's creeping like a snail, unwilling and moving unwillingly. So that is the kind of imagery that the poet has drawn through the poem. So similarly, you have to write the imagery, that the picture that the poet has painted in the fourth stage, which is the stage where the person is a soldier, then judge, and then the senior citizen. Okay, now you can skip question number 5. Moving on, we will go to question number 6, which is think and write on your own. You have to write the answers to these questions, what you feel about these questions, the poem. Then the 7th point A is the poem is entirely metaphorical. As I said before, that the poem is written in metaphorical sense. Then pick out the comparisons from the poem. So you have to write the metaphor for this. So they've given world and you have to write what is world compared to. So first one is world is compared to stage. So that is what you have to write. Stage is the metaphor for world. Then actors. What are actors of the stage compared to? So you have to write that men and women. So similarly, you have to write for birth and death. Schoolboy, the lover's sigh. What is it compared to? Then spotted leopard, and the last stage, that is the old age stage. And then B part is that you have to give 2 examples of each of these figures of speech. I have explained these figures of speech and I have given you one example, but try to find another examples that are there in the poem. Do not use the examples that were already given in the previous slides. Okay, that's it. Thank you.